Brown with the buzzer beater for the win Wednesday night. Does it get any better than that? Hey everybody, welcome into Celtics Now. Michaela Vernava here with you, and it feels like it's a wonder the Celtics are able to get 5 guys on the court at this point with all the injuries they're dealing with, and yet somehow they continue to be unstoppable. The C's now on a 5-game win streak, and how about this? Everyone talks about how damn good the West is. Well, the short-handed Celtics are now 4-0 on their Western road trip against Western Conference teams. They return to TD Garden Saturday to take on the East's first-place Toronto Raptors, but they'll have to do so without Kyrie Irving, Marcus Smart, Marcus Morris, and now Al Horford. I'm going to welcome in now our basketball analyst, Darren Hartwell. Darren, the hits just keep on coming.
They really do.
For the Celtics. It's unbelievable, actually. But let's start with Marcus Smart, and I know this is getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but he has come out and said he hopes to be ready by the second round of the playoffs should the Celtics make it there. Do you think that's a realistic timetable for his return?
I do. I think when you're dealing with a thumb injury, you know, it's not necessarily super serious. Obviously, that affects his shot and everything, but he's a guy who can contribute in a lot of different ways, and whether his offensive game is completely up to snuff, I think it'd be good just to have his energy, have his, you know, his defense out there. So yeah, I could see him coming back in the second round.
Well, let's count on him being out for the first round, and perhaps they'll be without Kyrie Irving as well, which is obviously a huge hit. Without those guys, who will be most important to the Celtics lineup in the first round of the playoffs?
I think it's got to be, we're staying in the backcourt here, it's got to be Terry Rozier. You know, I was just looking at a stat, pretty crazy. 24 consecutive games he's scored in double digits now. So that's kind of the expectation, is for him to be, you know, a consistent scorer, and then also just lead the team from the point guard position. I think what's going to be key in the playoffs is when teams actually prepare for him, because he's going to be the guy, knowing that Smart and Irving are out. You know, there's going to be a lot more focus on him, and he's going to have to step up. So I think he's the key guy for them to, you know, win the first round playoff series. Might not be too easy with Irving out. At
least the Celtics do have players like that they can lean on, and now this doesn't really do any good for in terms of right now. But Gordon Hayward, his rehab is coming along. Yep. He tweeted out, check out this video he tweeted out with the Players Tribune.
Slow and steady.
Stay focused.
Slow. Nah, he's gonna get.
Freaking like it. You good here.
The pace is so slow.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Just focus.
He's gonna pump fake on one of these.
No, don't worry about it.
The box is moving.
Focus.
Let's
go.
Money?
Money. Appreciate that.
Let's go.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, the first time he ever did it, it was 4 minutes and 57 seconds. So now you're down to 23.8.
What do you think, Darren? Does that get you hyped up for Gordon Hayward's return, or what?
Yeah, he looks thrilled to be picking up marbles with his feet. I did like the pun, you know, one step closer back, you know, it's the feet are involved.
A tiptoe closer.
We got to take what we can get at this point, you know, so that's a good sign.
It's progress.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Jayson Tatum, the rookie, has been one of the guys the Celtics have been able to lean on amid all these injuries this season. Just how important is he to this Celtics team?
Yeah, well, I think the bottom line is when Kyrie is out, he is the best offensive player on the court for the Celtics, the most polished offensive player, which is pretty crazy to think of for a guy who's 20 years old, but you know, that's where the team is at. He's kind of their go-to scorer late in games. Obviously, Jaylen Brown hit the big bucket, but you know, in the game against the Jazz, but Tatum had the dunk before that to tie the game, so he's going to be very involved, especially with you know, Kyrie and Smart out. It's going to be Rozier and Tatum would be the second guy who I'd kind of focus in on.
Well, Al Horford has said that he believes Tatum deserves the NBA Rookie of the Year award. What do you think? Do you think he's done enough to be crowned Rookie of the Year?
I appreciate Horford sticking up for his guy, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think there are 2 guys ahead of Tatum. I think first is Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is going to win this award. He's just been he's kind of like a LeBron James light, what he's doing for the Sixers, and the Sixers are, you know, in 4th place right now in the East. I also think Donovan Mitchell might be barely ahead of Tatum right now, just from what scoring he's bringing to the Jazz, and I think a lot of people didn't expect the Jazz to be where they are right now, so I would put those 2 ahead of Tatum. But, you know, it's a pretty tough year. I think if Tatum was maybe a rookie last year or 2 years before, he'd easily make a case.
That's a very good point. A lot of competition out there this year. Thanks, Darren. Now, one of the more disliked guys in the eyes of Green Teamers, Ray Allen, he was once again highly criticized here in Boston when he was spotted out golfing rather than attending Paul Pierce's number retirement ceremony. But here is his side of that story.
Yeah, but I was never invited. And it wasn't, I know people made a big deal about me playing golf with George Lopez, which was completely, it was so funny to me because I had no idea that this whole thing was going on in Boston. I was in LA for an appearance that was scheduled 2 months earlier. So when everybody made this big hubbub,
you weren't just
that wasn't the time to step in when Paul was having his night to then step in and say, hey guys, I'm here. You know, that was about Paul, and I appreciate everything he's done for our organization and, you know, how he's been who he was to us and to the city.
Well, with that just about does it for this episode of Celtics Now. We will be at TD Garden Saturday night to cover the game, so definitely keep up with all your Celtics news with us. And since it is MLB opening day, here's a little treat. A great intersport friendship. Al Horford and Robinson Cano linked up while the Celtics were out in Phoenix. Cano and Horford's families hail from the same area in the Dominican Republic, and Horford says this is cool. The two were actually introduced his rookie year at David Ortiz's house in Boston.